So I'm going to read, we're on day 31, so it's Proverbs 31. I'm going to read from the message.
And I'm going to read from, I should do I'm going to read from the New International.
Okay, well, I'll start out.
Okay.
The words of King Lemuel, the strong advice his mother gave him. O son of mine, what can you be thinking of? Child who I bore, the son I dedicated to God. Don't dissipate your virility on fortune-hunting women, promiscuous women who shipwreck leaders. Leaders can't afford to make fools of themselves, gulping wine and swallowing beer, lest hungover they don't know right from wrong, and people who depend on them are hurt. Use wine and beer only as sedatives to kill the pain and dull the ache of the terminally ill, for whom life is a living death. Speak up for the people who have no voice, for the rights of all the down and outers. Speak up for justice. Stand up for the poor and destitute. You want to start at 10? Starts talking about the women.
Yeah, I'll start at 10. Okay, 10, and then I'll stop it, and then we can come back to you. I'll do, I think I'm going to go ahead and do passion. Whoever could find a wife like this one? She is a woman of strength and mighty valor. She is full of wealth and wisdom. The price paid for her was greater than many jewels. Her husband has entrusted his heart to her, for she brings him the rich spoils of victory. All throughout her life, she brings him what is good and not evil. She searches out continually to possess that which is pure and righteous. She delights in her work of her hands. She gives out revelation truth to feed others. She is like a trading ship bringing divine supplies from the merchant. Even in the night season, she arises and sets food on the table for hungry ones in her house and for others. She sets her heart upon a nation and takes it as her own, carrying it with her. She labors there to plant the living vines. She wraps herself in strength, might, and power in all her works. She tastes and experiences a better substance, and her shining light will not be extinguished, no matter how dark the night. She stretches out her hand to help the needy, and she lays hold of the wheels of the government. She knows by her extravagant generosity to the poor, for she always reaches out her hands to those in need. Go ahead. 21.
She doesn't worry about her family when it snows. Their winter clothes are mended and ready to wear. She makes her own clothing and dresses in colorful linens and silks. Her husband is greatly respected when he deliberates with the city fathers. She designs gowns and sells them, brings the sweaters, she knits to the dress shops. Her clothes are well made and elegant, and she always faces tomorrow with a smile. When she speaks, she has something worthwhile to say, and she always says it kindly. She keeps an eye on everyone in her household, and she keeps them all busy and productive. Her children respect and bless her. Her husband joins in with words of praise. Many women have done wonderful things, but you have outclassed them all. I don't know what verse it is.
Where?
I don't have numbers.
Okay. Oh, here you go. You're on 30. Charm can be misleading, and beauty is vain and so quickly fades. But the virtuous woman lives in wonder, awe, and the fear of the Lord. She will be praised throughout eternity. So go ahead and give her her credit that is due, for she has become a radiant woman, and all of her loving works of righteousness deserve to be admired at the gateway of every city.
All right. So that's the last proverb that we're reading this challenge. But let's go to the life application. Anything jump out at you before you jump in?
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead, because I'm gonna.
Okay.
It's fine. But that whole chapter is really powerful.
Yeah, it's a rich chapter.
It talks about how they're giving honor to a woman, but I would say that I would even think of this as wisdom itself and having a noble character, which is more important than anything, not just for women, but for people.
Right.
The bride of Christ.
Right.
So this is how I see it. I see it, it's for all of us.
I do too. It's funny you say that. So I just read what I have and we'll kind of pull it out here. It says, this proverb is most known for how it describes a virtuous woman who leads her home with integrity, discipline, and giftedness. The wife and mother described in this proverb is a leader not because she tries to be, but because of who she is, her character, her base, her core. So these 4 components, we're going to give you 4 components of how the proverb was broken up, right? These 4 components of her life explain why she's considered to be a virtuous woman. And here's the deal, what Kim was saying, if we develop ourselves in these 4 areas, man or woman, it's not just for women, but man or women, then we too can become leaders and influential. So let's just break down the 4 parts.
Yep.
So the 4 parts, the first part are assets. Assets, it talks about her assets. So if you were to look in verse 11, it talks about how she's trustworthy.
Yeah.
That's her first asset. So that's trustworthy, can be depended on. You don't have to worry about, watch, look behind, guard yourself. You be vulnerable.
It says her husband has full confidence in her.
Yeah.
That's great.
The next one is she's positive influence, verse 12.
Yeah.
Right? So she's not a negative influence. She's not trying to hurt, not trying to tear down. She's trying to build up.
She brings him no harm.
Right. Now, unfortunately, some folks can see that as that positive influence, if it's something that they don't want to do or something, that's hard for them or difficult for them, they'll push back on that positive influence. But we talked about that in an earlier proverb. Remember, sometimes when the wise person gives full wisdom,
we don't hear it.
They'll get attacked. Yeah. So don't change.
Right.
Another asset's the hard worker.
Yeah.
Hard worker. So that comes up in a lot of verses.
Yes, it does.
13, 14, 19, 24 to 27. You can read them on your own.
But it talks more about how she applies herself to the work.
Right.
And the importance that it means to her and why she applies herself. It tells about what she does and how she does. That's important for us to look at the things that we're doing to understand what we do and why we do it.
Right. Seeks wool, flax, willingly works with her hands. Like merchant ships, brings food from afar, makes her linen in her clothes. Right? So there's a point to her work.
Yes.
She's a planner.
Yeah.
Verses 21 and 24. 21 and 22.
When it snows, she has no fear of her household. She makes sure they're clothed. She makes coverings for her bed. So she does things to make sure that everyone in the home is okay.
Right. When it snows.
So bad weather.
Right. So you know that the bad weather is coming. She's ready for it. She's planning for it.
We need to look at that as a whole, that in difficult times we're prepared.
Right.
Be wise.
She's protective. Verse 27. Right. Watches over the ways of her household. Right. Does not eat the bread of idleness. So,
doesn't waste time.
Exactly. So our assets. So ask yourself, are you trustworthy? Are you a positive influence in every area of your life, everywhere you go?
Yeah.
Are you a hard worker? Or are you complaining, oh, that's too much. That's too much. I'm not doing their work. I'm not doing this. That's what the kids used to always say. I'm not doing that teacher's work. Teacher's work is your work. You don't want to need the degree. Right? Are you a planner?
Right.
Are you looking ahead? Do you have a plan? Have you looked into what it takes? And is that in your mind? Is that written somewhere? Do you have a sequence? Are you following? Are you a wandering generality or are you a meaningful specific? She's protective.
Yeah.
Are you looking over what's yours? Are you taking care of what's yours? Or are you squandering it?
Yeah.
Are you using it unwisely? Are you just letting people just draw from it and you not protect your well? It's your well, right? Achievements. Here's the next we talked about assets, so now achievements. So in verse 15, it talks about how she meets the needs of her home.
Yeah. She gets up while it's still dark and provides food and things for her family.
Right.
When everybody else is resting, she's thinking about how can I take care of my home, which is not just for she, but for God's bride.
Yes.
For the bride of Christ. Us thinking of how can we take care of what it is that we've been given.
Right. How can we make it grow?
How can we make it better and how can we make it grow?
Right. How can we make what we
Stabilize.
have produced for us? Right. She invests in for her household.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 16.
She considers like a field to buy it, to
Exactly.
see how she can do things that will help and benefit her family.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with us.
Mm-hmm.
We all need to be looking at that. So
Right.
there's just so much meat in this.
So look how it says.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at the field, considers how she can buy it. Then it says she invests her profit.
Yeah.
Her profit.
Out of her earnings.
That she made into the household.
For her household.
Yeah. Right. So that whole investment piece, even as a parent, we have to look at our children as investments. We're pouring into them, and that's not a bad view. That means you're expecting them to grow. You're expecting them to be better. You have a vision for them, a vision that they can't even have for themselves yet because they don't totally have that picture, haven't lived long enough to understand that. So what we're having, we're pouring into.
Yeah.
So it can grow for her household.
Right.
It's her profit. She's giving it away. But that's just a woman. It's written as woman. But it's not about women. It's about everyone. It's about all of us. What's the next one? She keeps herself in shape. Right? So if you look at verse 17, right? She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms.
For the task that she has ahead of us.
So that girds always means works. Always means, gathers up, does the work to strengthen, does the work to establish a thing.
Yeah.
So.
And the work doesn't always just have to be physical. Even the spiritual work that we need, the soul work. She does whatever it takes to make sure that she's ready for the task. Right.
That's why it's using arms as the
show that there's some.
The arms are your hold. It's what you can contain, right? What you can contain, not just physically, but spiritually and holistically as well. The next piece is under her achievements, she helps her husband become successful. So that when he goes in the city and sits among those who are in a position that he is respected. It says where he takes the seat among the elders, he is respected. Right. So remember, the Bible's written dispensationally, which means it's a certain time period. Right. So at that time, there were definite levels or positions that women played and men played in that society. So that is not how our society is built today, right? So although the Bible still says, wives, submit to your husband, meaning under the mission of, not just do everything they say, right? But get behind under the mission of. So kind of what this is telling us is she gets behind and helps those to whom she's connected. She's going to make everyone better. That's really what it's saying. She helps keep her husband successful. So that to whom she gets behind, whoever she's connected to, she's going to make them better, help them be successful. The other part of that is that New had said that our world is not made that way anymore, but I would say that it's based upon your home. So if I go out and make a bad name for myself, that reflection is on the people who are around me. Right. I mean, it just is. Whatever it is that I'm doing, they look at, ain't that such and such's mom? Isn't that such and such's wife? So for her, because of her hard work and the way she upheld herself in the community, he gained respect because of what she did. Right. For them, that same thing can apply today. Right. Based upon how I maintain myself, how I honor what it is that God has made me, also then is a reflection on my husband and my children. Right. So although that we may not live in that physical dispensation of how they handle things where women were here and men were here, there is still some type of connection to how people view your family based upon the way you behave. Right. And vice versa. Absolutely. So that's what I was trying to get at. Is either or. It's not just a woman thing, this is just how it was written at that time, but it's a man thing. It's too. All of us. Right? Bride of Christ. Right. I like the way you said that. Her attitudes, that's the third category. So she's delightful. Verse 13. right?
Mm-hmm.
She says things. Is that the one where she says things?
She seeks wool and flax and works with eager hands.
Right.
So when it says about her attitude, it's how she keeps herself to make sure that things are being done. And it doesn't seem that she's angered by the work that she's doing.
Right. Willingly works.
Willingly.
Right. And I think in the Message Bible, it says she's kindly, gives a kind answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's healthy. Her attitude is a healthy one, one of a forward thinking.
Mm-hmm. She sees her trading as profitable, so she looks at it as beneficial of what she's doing.
Right. So in the next one, compassionate. Her attitudes are compassionate. Verse 20.
Opens her arms to the poor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Always going to give. Always going to.
What's helping?
I'm laughing. Just going to make sure somebody is okay. I know we lived in San Diego for a while. A lot of homeless out there, and every time we rode past someone, you would see Ken's whole face change. And like just now, she's like,
something.
And yes, it is something. I'm not laughing at it.
No, I know you're not.
But I'm like that whole compassion is not something that you can't avoid.
Yeah.
If you're virtuous, and that's not just a woman.
That should be all of us.
Yeah. Unselfishness, another attitude. Talks about in there. Verse 20. They talk on that unselfish. She extends her hand to the poor, right? Just kind of said it, right? She reaches out her hands to the needy. Verse 25 talks about how she's public, right? Yeah.
Clothed with strength and dignity.
Mm-hmm.
She can laugh at the days to come, meaning she's prepared. Think about that in the sense of wisdom. How wisdom gives us warnings and lets us know to be prepared and to do these things and to be wise. And if not, and then if you are not, what happens when calamity comes? Wisdom lacks. Well, here for her, in verse 25, she's clothed in strength and dignity. All these other things have already been done, so that she can laugh when for the days to come, meaning she's already prepared. Already prepared. She's already listening. She's already being wise. So
if you're ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's true.
Right?
Very true.
And again, this is not just about women, bros. All right?
It's all of us.
So the fourth category, so we had assets. We talked about her achievements. We talked about her attitudes. Now let's talk about her applause. What comes her way? So in verse 28, she gets applause from her family.
Yep, she's praised. They call her blessed.
Right? From her family, right? Also in 28 and 29, who else will praise her? Her husband.
Yeah.
Right? So he says that her husband also praises her. Many daughters have done well. And this is what he says. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. You're the best. I'm glad I'm with you. I don't know where I'd be.
Right.
If it wasn't for you. Right? And she gets praise also from God's word. Right? Why? Because she's in line with it. In verse 30, charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Right? Again, this is not just females. If you're just tuning in with us, this is for males as well. Right? And finally, from her applause, she gets applause from her works, the things she's doing with her hands.
So the principle of the whole thing is for all of God's people.
Right.
The principle. And they're using a woman as an example because of all of her work and the way she's noble and honored in her community. So basically, she is the example and represents being wise enough to know to do those things. This word then can be applied and stretched out over all of our lives because we need to be wise.
Right.
We need to be honorable. We need to be respectful. We need to be thinking ahead.
Right.
We need to be a planner. We need to look and make sure, think about our assets and achievements and things that we should be accomplishing. We should have good attitude towards things. And when you do, there's applauses or people say, wow, I'm so glad that I got to know you, that I could see your witness. I could see some of the examples that you put before me. And because of those examples, today I can apply them to my life. That's what this book of 31 is about in Proverbs. That's what this is about. I see some messages. Good morning.
Go ahead and walk in place. Remember, when you're walking in place, flex those heels, flex those feet, so you can get those calves involved and get that blood pumping in the lower part of your legs as well. I'm going to push this down.
Yeah, I'm trying to set it this morning.
Guys, hopefully, I don't know if you're going to see my head, but you don't need to see my head. So we're going to go right down to the ground, you guys, because we're doing those intervals. So you're going to get in that child's pose, please. So hands, push it back. It's going to be a little tight the first few times, right? Keep the head neutral spine. Come on back up to the plank, right? Squeeze that butt. Keep that core tight. Come on, put your knees down. Back into the child's pose. Now you're pushing with the heels of your hand. Trying to go a little further. Come on back to the plank. Now from this plank, I want you to go up in the downward dog. Push with your hands. You're going to feel that in your calves. Going to feel it in your back. Come on back to the plank, you guys. Good work. Try to keep your hands in place. Push back. Good work. Breathing. When you're in downward dog, push those heels back, stretch the lower back, tighten the core. Come on back to that plank. Keep your head in neutral spine. I have a tendency to curve my back, so I gotta focus, keep my head in neutral spine. Come on back to that downward dog again. Come on the plank. I want you to go back to your knees. Go back to child's pose. It should feel a little easier this time.
Yeah, it does.
So come on back to your plank and spider up with your leg.
So I'm going to do the the modified version. So your knees are on the floor. For those of you who are on mine, I know you can't really see me because I have the camera turned. So our plank arms are out a little bit further. Our one leg is lifted and then down. So we're not doing the up. We're not standing up like Newt is. This is the modified version.
So what I want you to do is I want you to go into that downward dog. Spider up with one of the legs or the other. So when you spider up, I want you to try to keep that back as flat as possible, that back leg straight. Keep your head in neutral spine. You're trying to get your foot up to your hand, as close to your hand as you can. Go back to downward dog. Really stretch and straighten that back out. Spider up. Now, if you can't get your foot all the way up, that's fine. I can get this one farther up than my left one. And I focus on keeping that back straight. Pushing my shoulder into my knee. Bring it back. I'm in that plank. You're using your shoulders. This is the last one. Spider up. I kind of look out a little head in front of me so I can keep my back straight. Bring that back. Let back down to your knees. Back to your child's pose. All right, bring it back up. We're going to step up to stand up, you guys.
All right. Was that a warm-up?
Yeah. You ready to hit the core? Everybody reset, stand up? Okay. So we're going back down. Take it down one knee at a time. Right? I want you to go into your low plank. So put those shoulders down. Squeeze that butt.
I'm doing the modified version, guys. We are on our knees.
Right? So now what I want you to do is go ahead and turn to one side or the other.
One knee is down for us. Can you show them? Because they cannot see me on the camera. How the one knee.
So one knee's down, the bottom knee down. That's your modified move. Your regular move, you're up like this. So now I want you to come on down to your butt. Turn over. Feet on the ground. Lift those legs. Lift those legs out. Your body's in the V. Right? Bring it down. Come on back to your hip, the same hip. And you're going down and up. Down and up. So if you're modified, your knee is down. If you're not modified, you're up and down just like this.
If you're looking for the actual exercise you can't see on my camera, go over to Newt's page.
You're going right to your little pulse here. Little plank. And I want you to pulse. So you're just picking your knees down and up. So you stand in a low plank. You kind of tuck in those hips. Keeping that back straight. and you're just engaging. So now you're gonna go to the other side. I'm gonna turn this way so I can face you. So I am in that oblique. Hold, you just hold it. So I'm tightening this lower part. That's where the work is. In my lower oblique, not the upper one, but the lower one. Right? Come on down to your butt. We're going to the V. So you can have your hands down. You can have them up. Whatever it is, you want that chest high. You want that core tightened. You want those feet flexed. And your shoulders relaxed, neck long. 3, 2, 1. Bring them down. Go back to that side. And there's a hip up. Move it up and down. So your modified move again, your bottom leg is down. If it's not modified, you got them both up in the air. Good job. Hips forward. 1, we're going to get up. So step up to get up. Cardio recovery. So get those knees up. So Kim's just stepping. I got a little hop in the middle. It's like you're doing a standing crunch. Good work. Good work. Good job. Keep going. Get your rhythm. Focus in. Stay on the toes. 3, 2, 1. Going back to the ground. Hands behind your head, shoulders off the ground. Alternating your legs. So it's basically just like that. So you want your elbows out of sight. You don't want to be able to see your elbows. And you're not pushing your head with your hands. You just put one finger there. You just have that to keep your body tall so that you're feeling it in your core.
So the modified version is one leg up at a time.
So bring them down both to the floor. Lift one leg up. Same arm, same leg. You're going down and up. Same arm, same leg. The other leg is on the floor. We're going to do a progression. Unless you're just super strong, you can have it off the floor now. We'll do 2 sets of it. So you're just same arm, same leg. All right, both on the ground. Switch legs. Same arm, same leg. Again, you're thinking long body. So I'm feeling it in my core when I bring it down. Feel it when I push it up. So those of you who have a strong core, when that leg is down, it doesn't feel like it's doing much, but you are training that same side oblique. Keep both feet down. Extend your arms over your head. Both feet up and both hands up. Ready? Go.
For the modified, we'll still do every other one.
So, there you go. So exaggerate. When you reach the top, squeeze it. Squeeze it. 3, 2, 1. All right, roll over, step up, get up, step up, get up. So we're going to do the shuffle. Let's get those hands, get those feet moving quickly. Forward, backwards, now shuffle side to side.
Ours is step side to side.
Forward, back, shuffle side to side. Forward, back, shuffle side to side. This time I'm going to keep my feet close. Forward, back, shuffle side to side. For me, it's a little harder when my feet are together. Makes me tighten my core a little more. So anytime you're moving quick like that and keeping your body tight, you have to engage that core. Going back down to the ground. So we're going to progress the last sequence. So this time, when you're kicking up and down, neither foot is touching the ground, unless you're modifying.
Modified, we are touching.
So what am I thinking? Lower back's on the ground. So I'm lifting my shoulders, keep my lower back on the ground. Chest tucked, chin high. Right? Now, one leg up. Same arm, same leg. The other leg is not touching. So I'm working. Both feet are flexed. I'm stretching that body out. I'm working. Right? Same arm, same leg. Back on the floor. Give yourself a quick rest. Both feet down. Both feet up. Other arm up and down. Good work. Pretend like something's pushing your stomach. And you have to push against it. That's right. Some of them are pretty. Some of them are ugly. But I'm burning. Go ahead, reset. Both feet down. Arms over your head. Both feet up. Both feet down. Do not touch.
We are doing every other one.
That's right. That's right. Nice and controlled. I'm feeling that, baby. Work that core.
Ooh.
Pressing that lower back in. Trying to get the shoulders off the ground. If you can't, it's not, it's not the end of the world. 3.
Ooh. Felt that.
2. 1. Come on up. Step up to get up. Going to the hop, hop, squat. Right? Hop, hop, squat. You said, wait a minute. This is the ab workout. That squat, when you go down like that, you're tightening that core. When you come up, you use that core. That's why you got to keep the body high. Chest up, head up, on the squat, butt back. You're using the legs. So when you're going down like that, the weight's in your heels, not in your toes. The weight's in your heels. In your heels. That's how you get your core involved and your whole leg. Good work. Good work. We're in here. We gotta work. It's day 31. Almost halfway, you guys. Do your best. Forget the rest. 3, 2, 1. Going back down. Going back down to the floor. So we're just doing a heel tap here, guys. So both feet are on the ground, right? So you bring one in and tap. Bring it back out. In and tap. Back out. In and tap. So when you come in, you're going to tighten that core a little. Doesn't look like much, but you start to feel it, especially in this sequence. I know I am. So both feet out on the ground. Here you go. Both feet in on the ground. Both feet out on the ground. Slow and controlled. Don't just slam them. Woo. Slow and controlled. Good work. You're going to feel that in your hip flexors. You're going to feel that in your core. If your back is hurting, then just reset and get back in place. Right? Think about raising your chest and lifting from your core and not your back. Both feet out. Now we're going to go feet up and down. So both feet up, hold it, flex your feet, both feet down. Good work. Ready? Up, hold it.
Modified is 1
Hold
foot up
it.
at a time.
Down. Good work. Good work. Come on, up. In the core, down. Go ahead and reset. So bend that back knee. Keep that front knee forward. I want you to just lift it up. So you see my body's back. I'm in a V. I'm just lifting that foot up, flexing that foot, right? Put it down, reset. Leave the back leg straight this time. Lift that foot up. Again, force to keep that chest up. Don't slump over. Keep that chest up. Put it down, reset. Come on, roll it over. Step up to get up, right? So now we're going to do sprint run, sprint squats. Let's go ahead and sprint. to your right, to your front, squat. Hold it.
Oh, stay down.
Bring it up. We'll hold a little bit so we can tighten the core.
Okay.
To the left, to the center, squat, hold it. Get those arms up, chest up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Come on up. Good work, good work. To the right. That's right, to the center. Ready? Squat hold. That's it. You get your squat. However you get it. Bring it up. Turn to the right. Sprint it. Left. To the center. Squat hold. Come on. Hold it, hold it.
I forgot
hold
that modified
hold
is
it.
just the movement
Stand up.
back and forth of the legs.
Walk it out. We're going back to the ground. We're doing that last sequence, but we're going to dial up a little bit. So this time, both feet, you're doing, alternating feet, but your foot is never touching the ground. When it's extended, it's not on the ground. Kim's modifying.
Modified, you are touching, holding your core tight when you do it.
There you go. Keep it off. Flex that foot. Keep it off the ground. Put it in that core. Don't just let your body slump. So keep that core tight. Erect, but you're in a C. Head and eyes forward. Ready? Go ahead and reset. Right? You're back in position. Both feet in, touch. Both feet out, don't touch. Both feet in, touch. Both feet out, don't touch. Okay. Now, I have a tendency to slump my shoulders. I gotta fight to keep them back, to keeping it and working my core.
I believe that the modified version is one at a time.
So
we just continued.
We're gonna switch it now. We're going back up to that hold. That's right. Hold it there. Hold it there. Keep the core tight, pushing it forward. Bring it down, reset. Switch legs. Hold it up there. Hold it up there. Hold it up there. Go ahead and let it down. Now we're going back to the first leg again. And we're going to pulse it. We're going to pulse it. Pulse it. One more. Bring them both down. Reset. Bring that back leg up. Pulse it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reset. Roll over. Step up to get up. This move's a little difficult. It's a speed knee kick. Kim's is a little different. She's just kicking. I got my knee up the whole time, going like that. The modified move, you just put me down and going up. So the regular move.
Arms, holding your core tight.
So you can either have your hands still on this, or you can run them, but keep that knee high. Switch legs. So what am I doing? I'm fighting to keep my body tall. I'm fighting to keep hopping on that one foot, never letting my heel touch. I'm fighting to keep my knee high and kick my heel out and not my toe. And it burns, but it's a good exercise here. Keeping that core, that body high, that's the key. You see my knee drifting, that's all right. Bring it down. Now we're going to
check it out.
We're going to work that back core now. So we're going down to the floor, and we're getting what's called Superman. So you're down on the floor, you're lifting you're squeezing your butt, your lower back, you lift your legs and your knees off the floor, and your hands are out in front of you, thumbs in the air. Now you're not looking up, you're looking down at the floor. Head neutral spine. 3, 2, 1, reset. Take a breath. Get back to Superman. Now pull down with your lats. Pull down with your arms. Like you're doing a lat pull down on a machine. Keep that butt squozen. Keep those knees off the floor. Use that lower back. You're exercising the back here without any weights. Woo! You are the machine. Woo! Good work. Good work. Reset. Take a breath. Now what you're going to do, get back into Superman. You're going to bring your arms back and front, forward. Try to keep them straight. Squeeze it when they get back there. When you get all the way back, squeeze. Squeeze. That's right. Reset.
Reset for real.
Now, get back into that Superman. You're going to rocket man. Now your hands are just behind you. Palms facing up. You're pushing like you're flying through the air. Right? Like you're Superman. Or somebody who flies like this, Iron Man. Right? Hold it in there. Squeeze that butt. Squeeze that back. We don't use those muscles a lot in our 50-year-old. 3, 2, 1. I want you to go to child's pose. Child's pose. Get that back stretched out. Good work. Good work. Come on up to your knees. Step up to get up. Now we're going to go to a mountain climber. The modified mountain climber. You're just stepping like that. The non-modified move, you get it moving. Up and down. Up and down. Now again, I'm downstairs as high as I can reach my hands. You want to lift your hands all the way up. All the way up to the sky. You're kind of looking up a little. Lifting that chest. Lifting those knees. It's like you're climbing up the mountain. Trying to reach higher. Climbing up that mountain. Trying to reach the top. That's good. Don't get lazy. Keep going. 2, 1. Going back down now, you guys. So, as you're on this one, you're in a low plank. So you gotta concentrate on this one. So you're bringing one knee in, pushing it out, the other knee in, pushing it out.
So our plank is different, guys. For the modified, you're on your knee. You're bringing that knee up. Holding your core tight.
Now you got both of them back. So one up, the other one up, back, back, up, up, back, back. Now don't worry about your butt too much. It's gonna come off the ground some. It's gonna lift up some because you got your knees coming in. But don't like exaggerate it all the way up like that. Keep them kind of level. Try to keep that back flat.
Okay, now I want to
get them both down. I want you to reset so we can dial up to the next one. So for this one, get back into the low plank. So we're going up, up, lift the butt up, bring it down, back, back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and push it back.
I'm not sure about the modifier on this one, but do what it is that you can.
So now just hold that B. Hold that B. Hold that B. Now go down and up. That's it. Down and up. You're going to feel this in your shoulders. Down and up. Down and up. Make sure you're not slipping and sliding. You're using your core here. Using your core when you're down. Use your core when you're up. So my knees aren't touching. You can modify and touch your knees. That's right. The closer your feet are in, the harder it is. Bring them down. I want you to go to the child's pose. Step up to get up. I'm starting to sweat. So go ahead, sprint to tabletop. Bring it back up to the sprint. Go tabletop on the other leg. If you squeeze the glute, the foot is on the ground and hold you a little more stable. Bring it back up. Now I feel that in my shoulders too. Back to the tabletop.
Woo.
One more time, spread it out. If you need to hold on to something, hold on to it. Here's the tabletop.
This leg, definitely.
Three, 2, 1. All right. I'm going to the ab pyramid, which is down, back, There's 7 of them. You can do it with me or you come out of 5. So down, 1,
We're
down,
just
1,
stepping.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Or is it stepping, back, back?
4, 5 this time, you guys. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. 2 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So come on up. Finish that jog. Woo. And a minute to go. The knees up. Elbows in. Shoulders low. Neck long. Core tight. Breathing nice. Ready? We're going to go to the slow move. So up. Stay on the toes. Stay on the toes. Try to lift that knee up. That little extra lift. Ha. Lift those lower abs. 3. Come on. 4 seconds. 2 seconds. Good work. Day 31. And maybe 31-day challenge, you guys. So proud of you.
Congratulations, guys.
Stay in, gotta cool down.
Hey, Tuda, Frida.
Bring that heart rate down. Bring the heart rate down.
Tuna.
Walk in place. Whew. Bring the heart rate down. Get some inhales, some exhales. Get those feet wide. Hands up. Now when you're doing this, you're trying to keep your legs a little tight so that your core stays engaged. When you breathe down, you're tightening that core.
Okay. Round it off.
Hands out in front. You remember this. Stretch out the back. Legs are still wide, kind of tight. Tucking those hips under. That's right. Bring it back up. In. Down. Come on up one more time. Push it out. Now here's what I want you to do. Keep that position and curve down to the floor, 1 vertebrae at a time. That's it. You're going to feel that in your lower back. Down as far as you can go. Hands on the floor, if you can get them there. Right? Go ahead and grab the back of your calves. Try to pull your chest closer to your knees, keeping those legs straight. Do what you can, but your legs must be straight. Now you're not pulling your head, you're pulling your chest. All right? Put your hands back down on the floor. Once you go to your right side, that's it. Hold it there. You're going to feel that in your hamstring, possibly your upper hamstring. You're going to keep that leg straight. You might feel it in your opposite lower back. If that's tight, put your hands back down, walk them close to your feet. Go to the other side. That's right. Now you're not trying to touch your head to your knee, you're trying to touch your chest to your knee. All right? You're feeling that in your hamstring because you got those legs straight. If you can't get your legs straight, then don't go down as far. Give yourself some relief. Right? Come back to the middle. Right? From here, put your hands, bring your hands up behind your back. Right? Push them up in the air. Straighten that back out. Push those hands up. Stretch those shoulders and that chest. Bring them back down to the floor. Hand to the knee, hand to the knee. We're going to roll and release. Roll. Release. Roll yourself up. Roll yourself all the way up. Go ahead and put your feet together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, when you exhale, you're still tightening that core. Last one, inhale. 31-day challenge.
31
Done.
days.
Great job, you guys. I'm so proud of you, those who stuck in with us. I'm proud of you, those who didn't. I'm proud of you, those who are watching, those who want to watch the replay later. Excellent work. Listen, God, we thank you for the ability to live, move, and have our being in you this day, God. We thank you for life, health, and strength, for every provision you've given us. We thank you for every idea. We thank you for every goal, for every dream, for every aspiration. God, we thank you that it's plain and that it's clear, that we have the wisdom to go after it, to attack it, to accomplish it, God, and we will reap maximum returns, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. And we will be good stewards of those returns to make them perpetuate and grow even more. We just thank you for the ability to conquer this day and synergize our minds, our bodies, and our spirits.
Remember that 31st proverb, that book there that told us about wisdom and, the wisdom and the honor of a woman and what she did, and how we need to apply that to every human being by being prepared, by having a good attitude, by thinking about how we use our assets and how we use our time. Continue to be the best you that you can be.
So make it a great day.
Or not.
Because the choice is always yours.
Bye.